Joe Rogan came out, called for a lightweight title match between Poirier and Oliveira. That's a perfect booking in all fairness. If you're going to go do a title fight in absence of Khabib, you want to put Oliveira and Dustin in there, okay. Nobody's going to argue. But I thought Poirier was fighting McGregor. I thought that because we all thought that. I thought that because they are fighting in May. Right? What are we talking about? Poirier versus Oliveira. So once Joe says this and gets the conversation going, Oliveira comes out on the back of that on social media and says, I thought this too, Joe, but Dustin has other plans. Let's move on. Hard stop. Poirier comes in on the top of that and says, full respect, Charles. And by the way, if you'd like a bottle of hot sauce, here's a link. Which is great. That is great work right there by Dustin Poirier. But it still puts us in the same spot. I mean, in all fairness, I don't know that anything has changed because of this dialogue. Khabib is still out. McGregor still matters. Poirier still wants to fight him. Dana has still not said that fight will be for the title. As a matter of fact, Dana didn't even hedge. He was asked this one time, and Dana did not come out and go, well, we'll see what happens. And a lot of time before then, he came out and said no. So let's see where that goes, right? I mean, everybody has the right to change their mind, including Dana White. But he said no for now. Okay. But let's look at the rest of the players at 155 because we are going to have some real fun. We are going to have some real fun between Chandler, who is clearly the most willing. Chandler deserves your guys' appreciation. I want to make sure that this is brought to your attention in case it's not. Chandler is the most willing fighter at 155 right now. And it is murderer's row. Because Chandler is willing to fight Khabib, no problem. Willing to fight Conor, willing to fight Dustin, willing to fight Oliveira, and willing to fight Gaethje. But now we're down to the three. We're down to Oliveira, Gaethje, Chandler. I don't know that we haven't been in this spot for a period of time. I don't know that things have changed. Khabib's been out. Conor and Dustin were as good as a trilogy fight the night the second fight ended. I don't know that anything has changed. It still does appear that we're up in the air as to what to do with Khabib's belt. I realize Dana said this won't be for the belt. I'm inserting it appears that we're still up in the air with what to do. Do we let him hold on to that thing? Do we take it back? Even if we take it back, do we have a fight determined, or are we going to buy ourselves a little bit of time? Okay. But I feel as though the round robin between Gaethje, Chandler, and Oliveira is ongoing and has been sitting here for a period of time. We heard somewhere along the way that they were trying to match up Gaethje and Oliveira, but then we heard along the way they even offered Chandler and Oliveira. Oliveira couldn't make the date, too short a time to make the weight. Okay. What those three gentlemen need to understand, though, and they need to understand this very clearly, and they're not going to like to swallow this, except Chandler. Chandler doesn't care. The other two need to know when the music stops, somebody's going to be without a chair. If Chandler, who is the most willing, so I believe is the most likely to be secure in this spot, takes on Oliveira, Gaethje doesn't have anybody, and then you can move that around any way you want, but somebody's going to be left without a chair. And in the competitiveness that is 155 pounds right now, particularly in conjunction with the uncertainty that is the championship at 155 pounds right now, you do not want to be left out of this discussion. If you think you're going to come to the table or come to the media with all the reasons not to fight, you can never win that. Even if your case is foolproof as to why you should not have to fight, you will not win that argument. It will fall on deaf ears. Two guys will go, one guy will be left out. There is a battle going on right now with Chandler, Gaethje, Oliveira. For two of those guys, you can be very diplomatic. You can be very strategic, but your numbers are now down. Each one of those guys has the choice of two. Which between these two looks more favorable for me? What is the smaller mountain to climb, right? Because the rules still apply. You still want the easiest fight for the most money. That is always your goal. But when your options, right, we're down. We're down. It's iron on iron at this point. Eventually, we're going to get a fight made. It's going to be two of those three guys. One guy is not. He is going to fall. Whoever that guy, he is going to fall out of the minds and out of the conversations. There is a battle going on. It looks as though Oliveira is now ready to play. I haven't heard from Gathje. I know Chandler's in. Spoke to Chandler this morning. I know Chandler's in. Question is who, and question is which of those three is going to negotiate and strategize himself right out of a top spot.